Hello YouTubers, and today I'm looking at the Cybermen Evolution Sect 2 Revenge of the Cybermen Age 2 Age of Steel. Okay, that is a really long name. Anyway, just call it Egalmoss Cybermen Sect 2. There we go. So yeah, again, I picked this up from B&M for £15. And yeah, let's have a look at the figures, which are difficult to focus on all at once. So let's start with the Cyber Leader from Revenge of the Cybermen. Now, honestly, it's not too bad, actually. It's pretty good. You got all the piping and the creasing. And he's in a stance there where he's about to use his head gun there. The mouth on my one and that, it looks a little bit sloppy, to be honest. It is looking a bit sloppy than what it should be, but yeah, overall this isn't a bad one, and considering that this figure hasn't been re-released by character, and hopefully one day it will be, hint hint hint. But yeah, it's not a bad representation of it, and yeah, I don't know I don't know if this pose is the most dramatic pose, but still, I mean, the Cybermen in that story aren't very dramatic, regardless, but yeah, it's a nice enough little figure, and they did remember to paint the back of the helmet black as well. Now, this is the Cyber Leader from Earthshock, and what makes it from Earthshock is the ski boots. Which, I don't know what it is, this just makes the ski boots look rather large. In fact, the legs look pretty thick on this figure in comparison to the arms. I don't know, they just look a bit puffy. Now, something they've done here is, with the chest unit here, this isn't a bit of plastic raised, it's kind of deepened in there, there's a kind of depth there, and I don't know why it isn't completely flat, but they have used a bit of plastic there, but again, it's deepened slightly. I don't know why they didn't do it with the jaw piece, perhaps it was too small, but for some reason, and it's giving me some Dapol vibes, they've painted black round the jaw piece here and here, and it makes it look like he's frowning. Like, there should only be black at the mouthpiece just here, not down the sides of the chin. So, yeah, I don't know why that is the case. And also, on this one, the handlebars are pretty thick. The bits of silver are thankfully there, but they do look a bit haphazard. The Cyber Gun, this is interesting, the Cyber Gun looks more like the later edition, the one from the 5 Doctors and Attack of the Cybermen. It looks more like that, with it being considerably shorter. I mean, it is pretty good for the gun, though it does seem a bit too chunky in places, but yeah, I guess the length and that of it just makes it seem more like that. I don't know what it is with this bit of an odd pattern on his arse there. But yeah, I think it's those chunky handlebars and the fact that black lines being painted round his jawline that just makes this figure look just really, really odd. Whereas something like, we'll put him next to it, the Silver Nemesis Cyber Leader. Now remember, these are both played by David Banks. So, yeah, in this one, I think it shows the chunky legs a lot more on this one than this one. This one, the legs and the arms look in proportion to each other, whereas this one, the legs look really, really chunky, and the arms look, you know, fine in comparison. So, but getting on to the Cyber Leader, this one, they didn't put any plastic on at all. It's just, you know, you can actually feel it. It's just all part of the resin sculpt of it there, which I guess is fine enough. We don't get a clear jaw, which I was expecting again, but you don't get the little sort of lines or dimples, I guess you would call it, pattern on the jaw. It's just completely silver. The handlebars are completely black, and unlike with the other, these are just part of the helmet sculpt. This resin, so yeah, they're not separate. It does make it look a bit odd, although, yeah, I don't know, because like if they'd have done separate ones again, I imagine they would be large and chunky like this one. So I guess it looks slightly better. But considering that, you know, they can do handlebars with a gap on this Cyber Leader, and as we'll see, this Cyber Controller. Again, don't know why they did it. The suit itself is pretty nice, if a little bit more basic. You can see that it has several washers and that put over it to really bring out all the creases and that, and make it, you know, make it look darker. Now, obviously, there's the big thing. This shouldn't be silver. This should be chrome. And bits of it do look more shiny. Like down here, it looks shinier. But yeah, this again should be chrome. I think this one, overall, I think the Silver Nemesis one looks better than the Earthshock one, because the Earthshock one just looks too chunky and disproportionate in places, whereas this one looks a lot more proportionate as a result. Weird that he's not holding a gun or anything. Would be nice if he did have a gun, and that holding it at the moment he's just kind of striding out, you know, for a little walk. But it's alright. And then this is the one I actually reviewed way back when it first came out. So this is the Cyber Controller from the Age of Steel, and yeah, this one looks a bit lighter actually than its initial release. There we go, if I put the light up a bit more. It does look slightly lighter. I don't know what it is, but yeah, and the head seems slightly tilted. I can't remember where my original one is at the minute. But yeah, I did have the original release of this. You can see though they did pay attention on that and putting the brain in there, which is just a few lines. It would be nice if they made the lines a bit squiggly. The eyes are just completely white, which isn't technically wrong. I mean, you could either do them white or do them more of the bluey colour as well, because character initially did them white. But yeah, I guess in this case it's a kind of either or type thing. But yeah, these ones are just a stark white. You can see the little bits for his tubing that he's just pulled off and that. But this one I think is a lot better, and probably one of the reasons why is I imagine there is probably a scan available of this suit out, or at least a regular Cyberman suit. I would be very surprised if there isn't a scan of it, of the suit available. But yeah, these other ones, you know, I think, I don't know, apart from the slightly thicker handlebars and the weird sort of stance, I do quite like the Revenge one. It does look quite nice. This one looks okay as well. It's that attack one that really lets this set down. It just looks too chunky around here, really. And the legs, I mean, from the front they don't look too bad, but from any angle other than front on, they do look a bit chunky, particularly the boots. We also get a magazine which is slightly folded in the box. But if I pull the camera back, yeah, not much. You can see it's been folded, unfortunately, in the box. Speaking of the box, which is in the background, it's a nice lovely window box. Something I will mention, for some reason, so you've got the back bit of plastic which they all rest on, which none of these ones, unlike the other ones, these don't have twisty ties. They're just held in the plastic, which is a bit easier for display. But for some reason you've got another layer of plastic that goes over the Cybermen. So let me put them back in the box and show you as an example. So we'll put the Cyber Controller back in, the Silver Nemesis Cyber Leader in, that one in, and that one in. Alright, so you've got a bit of plastic that goes over them and holds them in place, like this, which is fine. It's fine, that holds them in pretty well, especially in a sealed up box. Then you've got another sheet of plastic, which, yeah, looks completely see-through. That goes over the top of this as well, so you've got 3 sheets of plastic in there. I mean, it does give them extra protection, that is nice, but, I mean, it's a little bit unnecessary, I think, but, yeah, a bit odd, I'm guessing with that. And obviously, stuff like that is possibly the reason why, you know, a character are cutting down on the plastic, because it saves them money. If you think it's environmentally friendly stuff, no company in the world cares about that. But yeah, just looking at them in their window box. Come on, white balance adjust. There we go. Looking at them in the box, I do really like this style of box and making them look like the kind of egg box design from Tomb of the Cybermen. So yeah, there's that. They're quite nice, and yeah, I really like them. So yeah, I do particularly like this set. Again, if you find this in B&M, it's just random potluck. The B&M I got this from, I think, only had 1 of these in stock. So again, just potluck, just go around to different B&Ms and just see. And also, I'll say B&Ms that have got more than enough stock of figure sets, or the bobbleheads will probably less likely have these. It'll be ones where they've got maybe less stock of stuff, but again, it's just completely random, so impossible to tell. And since these don't have their individual product codes, again, it's impossible to tell which ones there are. So yeah, but there we go, people, there we go.